Hi everyone and welcome to Keep It Personal. I'm Bryan from Personal's Growth Marketing Team. I'm really excited about today's episode. Our guest is none other than Josías De La Espada, CEO of Personal, and today we'll be diving into a simple but powerful idea: the greater the fit, the greater the value. We'll talk about why making your messages more personal, especially through video, can change the way customers see your brand and even boost your sales. So, Joseas, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah, excited about this episode.
So, when you say fit in the context of video personalization, what does that mean for you? Is it about making every message feel like it was made just for that one person?
For example, in our context in person, it's not just a video with someone's name on it. It's more about making that person on the other side of the screen feel like this was made for me at this specific moment, time in my context. Think about it like a conversation. If you go to pick a friend up from the airport, and maybe it's been a month, 2 months, a year or whatever without seeing each other, you won't start with a generic speech. You probably ask how the trip was, or maybe because maybe if they enjoy it or not, or how was, if it was for work, etc. All those things, because in the end you know a bit more about their context, their story, and you use that story to keep engaging with that person. Personalized videos in our context at personal is similar. So when it fits, feels like it is like a natural conversation, contextual and even human, I would say.
So it's adding more of the emotion and the feelings in the video, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So every person has a unique context. And one of the most difficult things in marketing nowadays, it's been like that forever, but now even more in the digital world even, is understanding what that context is so that you are able to speak to that context, not only so that they pay attention, but also so that you help them in their unique journey, and that's when there is a fit, let's say.
Yeah, that's amazing. From your experience, why does greater fit leads to greater value, not just for the customer but also for the business? And how does this personalization translate into real impact to their business?
People act when they feel seen, when they feel that you understand where they're coming from, when they feel that you get their concerns. Let me give you an example. One of our clients, the company, they are targeting actually a really tough list of people that somehow at some point showed some interest, but at some point they also disengaged. In the end, when we looked at the data they have about these people, and when the client did the same, obviously, we saw that they had different concerns, different aspirations, different preferences. So that's easy to see when you have one individual and you take the time to have a conversation with them, but it's a bit harder when you have a list of maybe 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever number contacts. About that information, that story is behind the data. So you need to look at it from a different perspective. So in their case, instead of sending the same generic message, which they have in the past, to all of these contacts, their team created personalized videos that adapted to each individual, or to the context, to the journey of each individual, to where they were or where they are, and what is the expected next step they had somehow said they wanted to take. So from a business perspective, within weeks, I don't know if it was 2, 3, 4 weeks, something around that, the first campaign, because this is a live campaign, let's say, had already driven about $200,000 in expected revenue. With their numbers in mind, because I know obviously the account details, that's an 18x return on the investment, ROI. So not because the videos were flashy, that it was because they, through the video, a decent amount of contacts or a certain number of contacts felt that they were seen, that they were you were trying to engage with them, that you were taking into account their concerns, aspirations, all those things. And for the business, that in the end translated into revenue, more revenue, better ROI as compared to other initiatives. And from a contact perspective, for this in this case, students, or let's call them customers, it's probably that it felt like that the organization actually understood them. That's fit what you were referring to earlier.
Yes, that's amazing, especially for the students with the whole noise on the social media. They feel this value that there's someone listening to them and that they can see this greater value in them because this is specifically fit for them, right? And what are the biggest challenges when shifting from, as you said, from generic messaging to something personalized, a video personalized like this?
There are a few challenges. If I could choose from a list, a mental list, but one an easy one is surface level personalization, which is the most tempting thing. And honestly, it is what the majority of people that reach out to us have in mind at the beginning. Many companies, many organizations, many teams from both sides, the agency one or internal, like in-house teams, will create videos that say, "Hi Sarah," or "Hi Brian," and that's the tempting thing. And it will work in many cases if the distribution is the right one, if the value proposition is properly crafted, all those things. It's going to work as versus generic messages or personalized messages in an email or PDF or whatever. But it's going to still be generic. And the problem with that now in 2025 and moving to 2026, for instance, is that people are busy. They have a lot of saturation. So they have just too many messages. And you somehow refer to that when talking about social media platforms and all that. So hello Josías, or hello Brian, hello Cifra, etc. All those are going to be fine as an initial touch point to kind of to get their attention. But in many cases, and even more now, it's not going to be, or it's going to start to not be enough. I don't know if I phrased that correctly in English, but the point is that think about the example I just mentioned a few minutes ago. So in their case, they take into account that they had their names, obviously, but they took into account their concerns, objections, desires, aspirations, etc., where they were from a journey perspective. If they even like their age, for example, someone that has a concern about the financials of paying for their education versus, and maybe that person is single, versus someone that has been, it's in their 40s and want to go back to college or university, etc. So those are different contexts. So surface level personalization is going to work if distribution, like emails, etc., are in place, if the value proposition is clear, but you are still limiting the potential impact you could have with video personalization, and that's a big challenge. Just to add one more, a big challenge, and this is a constant struggle when I speak to clients, for example, is especially to leads before they become clients, like from a sales perspective, let's say, is the lack of specific business goals. And I come from the creative field, advertising and so on, and sometimes it is tempting and extremely easy to think about the content, like colors, fonts, is the brand represented, or how cool the personalization, how can we add it here, and here, etc. All those things are exciting, and crafting the storyboard and all that. However, the reason why we are doing this is not so that contacts, viewers, etc., so that your audience or people that are watching or listening to this just get excited about the video and all that, or wow, that's not the goal. The goal is to, yes, engage with them. So we need that in order for them to pay some attention at the beginning. But the goal is to help them understand your specific value proposition, benefits, etc., based on their context. So how basically help them understand how you can help, so that because of that they are able, you make it easier, let's say, for them to take the next step in their journey. And that next step in the journey is where many organizations fail, quote unquote, because it cannot be just higher engagement. And we talk a lot about engagement here at Personal, but it cannot be just generic engagement. It needs to be, like 200 new customers that, from 1,000 customers that saw this, we got 200 of them to upgrade. Or from a list of 1,000 people, we got 20 of them to sign up for XYZ, or we reduced in X percentage the number of people that were churning each and every month, because now they better understand how X and Y and Z solution adapts to their unique needs, context, and all that. And yeah, I have more, but we don't have the time now. But this is what
That's
we
amazing.
Personal, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think the biggest challenge right now is not being too so excited with a lot of things that might happen, and staying on the goal, right? And also, as you have mentioned, you are getting information so that it could have more context. It's like having data and information coming from the audience that you will be sending these videos to, right? So how do you help clients balance scalability with personalization? Of course, these are many data. So, like, how do they make thousands of videos, but still making it feel personal?
Let me try to explain it in an easy way. Think about it as if you had a video, because let me go one step back. When we talk about video personalization, that there are different options in the market and so on, and you have real video files. So if you have a list of 100 people, to keep it simple, with solutions like Personal, you would create a unique video for each and every contact. That way you have unique analytics, you can create a unique story for that particular contact and all that. So when it comes to platforms like ours, in the end, it is as if you had a video editor working at lightning speed for every single contact, basically creating or adding the text, the images, the audio files, the voiceover, everything, but like this for every single individual, so that they get to see their unique story, or so that the brand communicates with them through that unique story using the most effective type of content, which happens to be video. So at Personal, we use templates, and our clients have custom on-brand templates that either their team, our team, us together, because we do that for our clients as well, have. And each template, which could have a dynamic structure or a fixed structure, but think about it like when you have a hello first name in an email template, something similar, but for video. And in the end, in these templates, you are basically mapping or injecting or printing this information, images, audio files, all this information, so that that video editor, that person doesn't have to create video by video manually, but leveraging our software, they can create 500 or 5,000 videos at scale in a super fast way, and securely as well, so that every individual gets a unique story through that video. So the trick, quote unquote, is automation, but without losing humanity, and taking into account scalability, taking into account compliance, security, all those things.
Wow, I love the part that you have mentioned, that it's a lightning speed for each contact. Wow, so that's really fast for 1,000 videos that you will be making, and still making it personal, right? So
that is correct.
What's the first step that you recommend for them to do?
Easy. Start small, but start with a real use case. So basically, pick a moment where that fit you were talking about really matters. For some, it could be onboarding new clients in a faster way so that they don't churn, so they don't ask more questions than what they should, etc., quote unquote. Or asking a client, maybe in the insurance industry, asking clients to renew based on the value the insurance policy has delivered for the last 12 months. Or maybe it is sending a year in review so that it is not a PDF with 20 pages people don't read unless they really have to, or a long email, even with flashy animations and all that. But in a format people love, which is it's natural, quote unquote, nowadays for digital people. We are all digital people, which is video. But start small with a specific use case, and because otherwise you're gonna get overwhelmed. But even then, we help you. But even then, we're gonna recommend start with one specific use case. So don't worry about creating like the perfect Hollywood-like video. In the majority of the cases, a simple base video personalized with real contact data will outperform a beautiful but generic piece because of the context. And we have seen this. I've been in this industry for more than 10 years, and now almost 8 of those with personal, thank God. And we have seen that in many occasions. And importantly, lastly, get help, get support. So even experienced teams tell me that, tell us actually that it's hard to scale alone, because it is not just about software. That software will create video automatically and all those things, and landing pages, interactions and all that. But what matters is the strategy, and what matters is the execution. And the reality is that many teams will not have experience with that strategy or time bandwidth for the execution, and even putting the pieces together before the software can actually start scaling everything. So that's why in our case at Personal, this, we walk alongside our clients, because that's the best way to serve it, even beyond the software.
That's amazing. I love the part that you will be walking along with the client for this one. We really need help for these kinds of new things in the industry. So looking ahead, where do you see the future of this personalization in marketing going in the next few years?
It's getting quite crazy, and that's both fun and scary. First, I think personalization beyond just high first name, and one of the big reasons for that is because with AI, artificial intelligence, even teams that are not like extremely creative, and obviously agencies, are able to creatively use their audience's data to find ways to connect with that audience using or crafting the right story for this context. So that's one thing. That's like at a practical level. That's something that companies can do even now, just with the right mindset. And second, there are many opportunities in terms of I see like two. I mean, there are many, but I want to focus on two big groups of opportunities. Number one would be helping teams, like in-house teams from brands, organizations, etc., do more by themselves, and then leverage the software infrastructure that is already in place to scale the creation, versus relying on agencies, etc., for certain scenarios. And then also, it's not that agencies are not needed. Agencies are key, more often than not, because they lead strategy. They have already seen many patterns, and they can help. At least great agencies can help clients save a lot of time because they have already been there. because they are exposed to many projects at the same time. And the second group is in terms of better ways to distribute or to target the individual. For example, at Personal, we already have tools like our personal player, our interactive player, personal widget for retargeting, remarketing, etc. So we will see more ways to interact on a one-to-one basis and at scale with these contacts at the right time, and not only through channels like email, etc. We'll see more one-to-one channels that until now are one-to-many, let's say, and not one-to-one. And I think there are going to be many great opportunities there, especially now in this cookie-less, quote-unquote, world. And there are more we don't have the time to cover right now. We could perhaps have another conversation about that, because that's fun another day.
All right. This was such a valuable conversation, Josías. Thank you so much for sharing your insights today. So for those who are listening, would you like to invite them, and how will they connect to you for this video personalization?
Sure. So personal.com, personal with an I. So that's PIRSONAL.com. Did I get that right? I think so. But personal.com, they can find us there. And if you go to /contact, they can contact us. But also, I'm almost always happy to share feedback, happy to share ideas, perspectives, etc. And the reality is that both agencies and brands, many of them, the majority of them, do not have experience with this. So at Personal, one of the things we do is that we share a lot of information in order to help them not only make the best decision in terms of who they should work with, because sometimes it's not us, but also how to get where they want to get from a business perspective, so that they better engage with their people and help these people take action. So the best way to contact us is simply by going to personal.com. And in my case, they can find me on LinkedIn, Josías De La Espada. Good luck writing that name now. You can just search online for Personal CEO, and they'll find me there.
All right. So to those who are watching, don't forget to message us to the personal.com. And that's it for this episode. Keep it personal. Until next time, remember, the greater the fit, the greater the value. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Josías. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video.
See you.